After so much action already in Austria, it's time for some more. We've arrived at the main event. This is Grand Prix Sunday in Spielberg as Formula One begins a frantic run of 4 rounds in 5 weeks. It is the continuation of the Formula One World Championship in 2023. Verstappen versus Leclerc resumes in under 5 minutes' time. This is the venue that announced the contract extension to 2030 in the run-up to the Grand Prix today. 4.3 kilometres, 2.6 miles and 71 laps the distance for us today. 10 turns and a huge climb all the way up to turn 3, which is bound to be thrilling when we have the opening lap of the Grand Prix in a few moments' time. We have seen so much action here across the years. Maldonado versus Verstappen. It was spicy stuff down to turn 1. He was able, the Venezuelan driver, able to get past. And this was Magnussen offering a defence against absolutely everyone back in turn 3 last year. And try as they might, he got his elbows out to defend. Lando Norris up against Lewis Hamilton. This was 2021, and this was a thrown move to the inside. Lando Norris, who absolutely adores this venue and always seems to go well. These are the tyres for the Grand Prix, the soft, the medium and the hard. They are the softest in the range, the C5, the C4 and the C3. There is a 30% chance of rain forecasted for this race. We could yet need the intermediates and the wets. But we begin in the dry, in sharp contrast to yesterday. It is a glorious place to go motor racing. It is a glorious day as well. Let's take you through the starting grid. From the pit lane, Nick de Vries and Kevin Magnussen both changed specification parts. It means that they are starting this one from the pit lane. Then it's Logan Sargent in 18th, next to Zhou Guanyu alongside for Alfa Romeo. Yuki Tsunoda is in 16th. Sergio Perez with a lot of work to do. Expect him to go long on the tyre at the start of the Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas is in 14th. Oscar Piastri lines up P13 alongside him. Then it's Esteban Ocon in 12th place next to George Russell, who was out in Q2 for the 3rd time in 6 weekends. Alexander Albon is 10th next to Pierre Gasly. These times set on Friday, remember, and it was Hülkenberg in 8th next to Fernando Alonso, who's behind his teammate for just the 2nd time this year. So Lance Stroll is 6th. Lewis Hamilton, much better starting position today in 5th place and chasing a podium. He's a 2-time winner here. Lando Norris next to his old teammate Carlos Sainz, who's promised to go on the attack at the start of the race. And Charles Leclerc on the front row for the 2nd time this season. Max Verstappen's 4th pole. And the Austrian Grand Prix is go! Charles Leclerc got a good launch, couldn't do much with it. He'll have an opportunity as we climb the hill though. He's shown a defensive shape. Yellow flag is out in the 3rd sector. Off in the gravel goes one of the Alpha Tauris sailing on by there.
There's the Alpine, there's Tsunoda bouncing over the curb, understeering wide and just damaging that front wing end plate.
And off the road we go with Hülkenberg, and the Haas.
Terminal.
The Haas is smoking out of the back. And it looks like we have our first retirement for the Austrian Grand Prix. In comes Hamilton, in comes Norris, and they'll get the benefit of pitting under the virtual safety car. For the double stacking pit stop, both Ferraris in.
It's a slow stop for Leclerc, so it's going to be a slow stop for Sainz as well. There's the 2nd Ferrari in.
Virtual safety car is ending. McLaren there, past the Ferrari. Norris up, past Sainz. Here's Sainz trying to repair the damage. He goes to the inside of Lando Norris. Side by side, we go on board with Carlos Sainz, and he takes the place. Sainz fights by. This is Sainz now attacking Perez. Same corner, 1 lap on. Sainz is driving like we haven't seen. And look at this, the brawl continues behind. Goes all the way around the outside. Yes, he does. And Stroll tries to follow. So Verstappen pits from the lead. Here he is. So he pits, and that will give track position to the Ferrari's going to get him, and he does. Ferrari driver hugs the inside line. Sainz defends, and he's got P2 in the race. Hamilton's wide to give Norris the chance. Norris will have the velocity now. Lando Norris takes the place, takes 4th place. So this is for 8th position for Sergio Perez. That's the Mercedes on the left-hand side, but not for much longer. We're looking at the battle for the lead at the Austrian Grand Prix. Yes, that is a battle for the lead, but for how much longer? To the inside goes Max Verstappen to take back 1st place in the Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen going the long way round and being sent into the gravel. And now Perez trying to clear Fernando Alonso. Alonso checking the left-hand mirror because Perez is close. Scrap that, Perez is ahead. Hard tyres attached, the screech from the Pirelli rub. He's got more momentum, and through goes Norris.
Brave round the outside. Does Norris give him space?
The Ferrari lost the place out of the pits, reclaimed it. 4th position for Sainz. This might hand the move to Sergio Perez, who's got a sight of the inside line. The difficult task is set again for Carlos Sainz, but it'll be better traction now for Perez. He's got the DRS, he's got the place back. Will they give each other room? Brilliant battling from these two. A mirror check once again for Carlos Sainz. He tries to cut back in, wide entry, stand on the power, and this battle is done. Perez, another day of Red Bull domination, and Max Verstappen gets to the flag first once more. His 7th win of the season. Max Verstappen wins the Austrian Grand Prix and claims the fastest lap on the last tour. 10 wins in a row for Red Bull, 7 wins in the season for Max Verstappen, 5 wins at this venue for the Dutch driver. Pull out any stat you want, this season belongs to the man back on the top step of the podium once again.
Very positive weekend for us. You know, with the sprint format, it is always a bit more hectic, but I think we did everything well as a team, and today the car was really, really good. I think we're really looking well after our tires, and then of course you can just settle into a rhythm. And I think also, you know, the virtual safety car made it a bit different for strategies for quite a few cars, but we just stuck to our own one. And I think that worked out well, to be honest, at the end.
It was very important to have a good race today, and we did a good race today. The first stint, we had to really take care of those tires. For some reason, they were. I was a bit struggling with the rears, so trying to take a bit of margin on that first set. And then in the second and last stint, I could push a bit more, and the pace came together quite nice. We are still far from the Red Bull, so on that we still need to work quite hard, but overall it's been a good day, a positive feeling.
Pleased with that result. It was a good race, we had good pace, so very pleased with that, and now look forward for Silverstone. You know, it's been a very tricky weekend for me. I mean, track limits really made things too difficult.
Very good day for us, honestly. I didn't expect it to be quite as good. I was a little bit nervous going into the race about what to expect and how we're going to do and how the pace of the car was going to be, especially from a degradation side of it. I think like first 5 laps, very stint and so on. I felt confident we could be quick, but it was just, could we maintain that and could we stay there for the whole race? And surprisingly, it was better than I was expecting. So a good surprise. Definitely helped us achieve the result today. You know, the upgrade has definitely helped us.
I didn't really have any fun battles out there. I was slow, so I was just going backwards. I think it really highlights a car's true performance, and yeah, it's for some reason we've always struggled here.